Okay, could
We
see.
should be live right now. What's up? What's up? Black blockchain investing. This is Yusuf, also known as a King Risen. And I have with me today Crypto Aze.
Hey guys,
What's up, Asmeret? How you doing?
I'm fabulous. It's Monday, beginning of the week. I had a fantastic weekend. Catching up with some crypto news, catching up with family, and to everyone that celebrated Father's Day. Hope you had a great time with your children, with your loved ones.
Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there.
Mm-hmm.
So you said you did what over the weekend? So you had like a barbecue or something?
I just hung out with my family, friends, did some crypto research and enjoyed my weekend. It was good.
Okay.
How about yours?
Pretty much the same. I spent a lot of time with family, enjoyed the weekend, just kind of relaxed a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's nothing too exciting. Didn't do too much for Father's Day. I did get some barbecue. We have this barbecue place here in Houston called Killings.
Mm.
I went down there. It was a pretty long line, but I went down there and got some barbecue, so that was pretty cool.
Mm.
So let's dive into this. Let's make sure everybody's coming on. So if you're just now seeing this, come one, come all. Uh, like, share, heart, do all that good stuff so we can have a conversation. Let me see here. Let me go to the video. So I can see any questions or comments. Nick, what's up, man? Good morning. Good morning. Seems like the more we do this, the earlier it gets.
Yes, I've seen Nick as well. Good morning, Nick. Good morning, Marcellus. How you guys doing?
Marcellus is in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Ito, what's up, Ito? How y'all doing?
Ido, hi. How are ya?
So come in, guys. Come in. Come in. Let's talk, crypto. Let's talk where the market is. I'm sure Asmeret has some awesome news information to share. So we'll get into that first, and then we'll take a look at the charts and see if we can kind of take a good, swing at this thing to see where things are going. So I'll let you lead today, Asmeret. Tell us what's going on in the crypto universe today.
Hey guys, Crypto Azzy here. Hope you had a fabulous weekend. So you may have heard this over the last few days, the breaking news that moved the market. And we experienced a pump with the SEC director stating Ether was not a security. So we did touch upon this on Friday just a bit, but it was amazing news for the market. And if you remember, there was confusion over the classification between different regulatory bodies. So whether cryptos are utilities or securities, and how are they going to enforce it? And because of this uncertainty and lack of clarity, it increased uncertainty in the market. There has been high volatility and sell-offs. And so this was regarded, there's a consensus that this is good news for the market. And this was stated by William Hinman. So he's the director of the SEC division of the corporate finance. And he said that because of the way Ether, the token for Ethereum, because of the way it's operating, it is highly decentralized. And it's not a centralized actor that would normally be seen as one of the indicators of being a security. So they said that they don't see any value regulating it. So this has big implications, not just for Ethereum, but other tokens and projects that initially may have started as a security. And over time, as it becomes more decentralized and distributed, it would then be less of a characteristic that would define security. So this has ramifications. It has implications for the crypto market. And this also follows on from what was said about Bitcoin not being a security as well. So even though Ethereum had it begun with an ICO, it's now become so decentralized. It doesn't have a controlling party, and that other cryptos have this potential to lose the designation down the road as well. So that's been a great news for the market. And this is something where we saw about within a few hours of the news breaking, something like $20 billion being added onto the market. So that despite being in a bear market at the moment. So that was the first part of it. So the second part is this talk about Ethereum futures, the possibility of this being played out. So this is, if you remember Bitcoin, it never had an ICO. It was something that was published in early 2009 by Satoshi Nakamoto, and it was decentralized, no controlling party, and there was increased user and adoption. So when Ethereum came into the scene around 2015, this is something where Vitalik Buterin, the founder of Ethereum, took some of those ideas and incorporated smart contracts, which is the basis for many other cryptocurrencies to be able to build on top of Ethereum, on top of the network. And this has allowed Ethereum to grow in value and usage. And this is massive news in respect to it, because we've seen with Bitcoin futures last year being introduced by the CME and CBOE, but with Ethereum, it certainly opens the doors to that as well. And this has been almost like a stumbling block for Ether. Is this utility securities, and it has implications for other tokens built on the network as well. So this has been good news, and we shall see how it plays out. So as we get more clarity from the regulatory bodies, we should see the market grow and stabilize more. And certainly this has been a bullish sentiment regarding that development. So that's been the first part. The second part is to do with worldwide regulations. So there's been developments in different countries, Japan, Russia, China, but one major area, and you may have seen this in the news, has been several major economies and countries coming together and trying to figure out this real problem of regulations and cracking down on scams and hacking and tax evasion. How do we work together to tackle these big challenges? So the International Financial Authority, by the name of, it's quite a mouthful, but Financial Action Task Force, FATF for short, they're expected to collaborate together. There's about 37 countries which it's been overseen by this. And they're coming together to work on unified crypto regulations in the next few months. So this has been a recent announcement, and this has been led by Japan. It's the second largest crypto market behind the US. And this is going to allow the majority of the G7 countries, so we're talking Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, UK, as well as the US. So they account for something like 62% of the global net worth. And this allows them to come together because you cannot control cryptocurrencies in your own country. You cannot stop that. You cannot, you can try and regulate against it as much as you want, but there's certain things that cannot be controlled. So they're coming together to work out on realistic solutions that they can apply to tackle some of these fraudulent behaviors and concerns that they have. So they're coming together to discuss within the next few months. And if they do reach a consensus, and it is expected they will all impose identical regulations. So this is to basically, because of the increase in hacking attacks, security breaches, money laundering, also KYC, know your customer, and anti-money laundering, AML regulations. So this is where when you try and buy coins on the exchanges, some of the exchanges may ask you for proof of ID, proof of address, those sort of documentations that prove who you are. And this is going to become a regular occurrence as more and more exchanges try and be compliant and take proactive approaches before these regulations are adopted. So they're working on that. And the concern that they have in particular is to do with anonymous privacy coins, anonymous cryptos. And so the likes of Zcash, Dash, Monero, these are being used by criminal groups at the moment to evade the eyes of regulatory bodies and regulations, current regulations. So I'll give you an example. In Japan, for example, there's organized crime syndicates, and there's one in particular. It's quite old. It's called the Yakuza. Now, they exist. This is a very strange affair with them. So they exist with the Japanese government and police, and this is legal. They have like a thousands of years, like dating back to 1600, where they have deep roots and culture, and they allow them to operate in Japan. So they have been caught with using cryptocurrencies. There's been an investigation, and they were found to be money laundering to the tune of almost 30 billion yen. 30 billion yen. So, and this is going back to 2016. So that is something like, it's now worth like 273 million. Now, they've been doing that by using the exchanges, the cryptos, to move transactions. So this is not just Japan, though. There's many syndicates around the world. We know this from the beginning of cryptos. It's been prone to that. So that's why with the G20, the G7, European Union, all these different countries and bodies coming together, trying to work out how do we tackle the issue of fraud and scams on a worldwide, on a global stage, because crypto is decentralized, and you have to have global solutions to global problems. So this is what they'll be working on in the next few months. And the key thing is, like, even if they try to impose domestic rules where they targeted transfers or they did extra monitoring, is still not enough to counteract money laundering. So they agreed it's best if we have these emerging nations and regions all working together to take the next step. So it's a big deal. One of the solutions they're going to put forward is national licensing programs. So for exchanges in particular. So you can't operate as an exchange unless you have these license. And Also, they're going to be moving on to tackling privacy coins, how they're going to be dealing with in terms of regulation and money laundering. And so Japan, though, already has a licensing program, but they want to roll that out across entire nations and have some like a global body doing that. So this is something which they're working on. And if you remember, I mentioned previously CoinRail, the hack, it had lost more than $40 million of users' funds. And it was found that it was because of the exchanges. They were reluctant to comply with the local regulation on IT security and their infrastructure, and that's because of the high cost of obtaining the approval. And this is something which they need to work on and make that less of a what do you call it, as a barrier. So they're working on solutions on that. And also CoinRail was too focused on they were too aggressive on their business expansion plans, so that contributed to the hack. So the solutions that they're looking for, they feel that with the unified regulations, it will definitely help to have a decline in the number of exchanges and platforms that are being hacked, and also reduce the instances of money laundering through cryptos in the long run. So this is something that they're working on together. So that's been a major development. And yes, it's been interesting. Another one I mentioned before as well is Russia. I didn't go too much into detail, but Russia have several situations going on. It's a bit more complicated. So the largest banks in Russia, the Alpha Bank and the Semere Bank, they're currently piloting cryptos for their private clients at the moment. The Bank of Russia is overseeing this process at the moment. And basically that will allow their clients to buy into a special fund. And so they'll be trading Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, Litecoin. They're sticking to the top 5 or 6 at the moment, and they'll be doing that through major exchanges such as Kraken and Bitstamp. Now, just to give you a background on that, the main state-owned bank, Semere Bank, they deal with the employees' paycheck, so that's their process. Processing government employee paychecks. And Alpha Bank, they're the largest private bank in the nation. So their plans to enter the crypto trading, and also with the help of other players as well, Ad Capital Investment Fund, they were involved with the Telegram ICO. They're also going to help with that, and the Moscow Exchange Group will act as the custodian. That means they'll hold on to the cryptos, make sure that's secure, and that's something which will help to increase transparency. That will be in full compliance with upcoming regulations in Russia. That will also speed up the recognition of crypto as well in Russia and beyond. And the good news for the clients is that the shares will be liquid. So if they wanted to change that into fiat, US dollars, ruble, pound, euro, if they wanted to do that, they can do it at any time. And so they're testing this. This also follows on with another venture and development with a company called Megaphone as well in Russia. They're a telephone company. Gazprom Bank, they're state-owned. And they also have a stake in a Russian internet giant that will help to develop blockchain projects. Now, this is all coming against a background of contradictory messages coming out from Russia, from the government, from the players there. And by that, what I mean is that they've had uncertainty there. We've had a court, for example, in St. Petersburg, ruling. They've suddenly stopped educational materials on Bitcoin being distributed, and then you have lawmakers in Moscow. They're currently preparing for ICO and crowdfunding laws. And then the Central Bank of Russia, they're wishing to criminalize ICO token investments. And then you have the Ministry of Finance saying they do want regulation. And even Vladimir Putin, the Russia's president, he also came out saying by July the 1st, we're going to have regulation in the country. They're going to have some law put in. So this is all there's some bullish news coming out from Russia, from private companies and organizations working together, and from certain ministries and individuals from the Russian government as well. But then they're taking a moderate stance to this. So they're still trying to figure out, it's a gray area. They're still trying to figure out whether they're going to be coming down strong, or they're going to be just seeing how it goes. There's different messages coming out. And if you understand with the geopolitical situation with Russia as well, it's currently facing sanctions because of the history, the annexation of Crimea in Ukraine, when they invaded Ukraine. Also, their involvement with there was a crash with the Malaysian airline as well over Ukraine. And also recently with the issue in Britain with the Russia spy poisoning case as well. And the US had kicked out a number of spies from there as well. So Russia and other countries like Iran and Venezuela that are currently facing the US sanctions, they're looking to use cryptocurrencies to evade these sanctions and also to rely less on the US dollar. So this is going to have an implication in the long run for what happens to the shift of power and wealth and also influence in certain parts of the world. So Russia is looking to use that technology to, it doesn't want to give too much away, but behind the scenes, it's working on establishing infrastructure so they can get a piece of the pie, but also they're looking for practical ways to circumvent restrictions and sanctions against them and their allies as well. So this will have long-term implications, not just in crypto space, but also in global affairs as well. So this is something which Russia, Iran, Venezuela, there's other countries as well, but those are the ones that, in fact, Iran and Russia have had high-level discussion and meetings discussing how they're going to use crypto to help them navigate a different world. When I say a different world, they want to create their own alternative world where they'll be able to create their own situations and protocols where they can bypass any other major country trying to impose on them. So this is quite big in terms of developments in the global space, but in the crypto space, certainly this will give us an indication that with the regulations coming into place in different countries and having a unified approach, I believe this is something that will boost investor confidence. And we will have a lot of organizations and corporations coming into the space on the back of that to help build their blockchains, their developments and projects as well. So this should have a good impact on the market in the long run.
Good deal.
Yeah.
So, Asmeret, how would you respond to some people's criticism where they say, like, we're having all this bullish fundamental news coming in, but it seems like the market is still sliding or slipping. How would you respond to that?
Well, the reason why the market is still in negative territory is mostly to do with the manipulation. And this is something which we've discussed before, the manipulation of the whales and other parties as well, and the expiration of futures as well coming up. So this is something which they're working, they know the regulations are going to come into space. This is, you know, all the infrastructure coming into the space. This is bullish. You would think that it would have an impact on the price, but they are looking for situations where they can depress the price. They can bring before they bring their capital in, they need to have custody solutions set up as well. They know what is coming. So right now I believe that because of the depression of prices, that they're just waiting for everything to be set in terms of the regulation aspect before they come in, but they want to time the market well and take over. So we have to practice patience in respect to that, especially as long-term investors. We're seeing all this bullish news, which is great, but if you remember that when you're building, whether you're building a home for yourself or for, to buy to let for commercial purposes, you don't expect that property to be worth, 4, 5, 6, 7 figures overnight. It will take time to build on that land, and the price will appreciate, and then you have all these different shops and neighborhoods being gentrified. The value of that property will be increasing over time. So with this market, we have to understand that we're seeing all these inroads, all these infrastructure coming in. And there's an expression, Rome wasn't built in a day. So this is something which will take time, and it will unfold, just like the internet era as well. We saw certain companies go bust and certain companies come out of that, becoming multi-billion-dollar companies now. So it's like because the market goes in cycles of boom and bust and other factors coming in, it's like technology over time is compressing the amount of the waiting period where we see exponential growth, and this is going to affect a lot of industries across. I mean, we already know how revolutionary blockchain is, but this is something that will further compress time, and this will allow a lot of businesses, a lot of industries, a lot of investors to quickly build on that. But we just have to be really patient and understand that there's market manipulation going on. There needs to be more clarity on the regulatory aspect as well. So as an investor, we have to think long term, and ride the trends out until they develop. So this is just practice patience, and you will see at some point when the market reverses, at that point we can make some moves. But right now, just keep ahead of the news and developments, and follow the smart money, see what they're doing, and clearly with companies and figures, influential figures in the finance space, the banking, many industries coming together to collaborate and build and work on solutions. This is something that we're going to see becoming more of the normal. So I would say just wait and ride it out and see how the space develops. And we have to look at what's happened right now. and use that to help us predict the future. So we've got no crystal ball, but we can look at what's been built as an indicator, the regulations coming into the space as indicators of what will transpire over the next few years. And so far, in that respect, it's more bullish than bearish. So take hope from that and see how it unfolds.
It's interesting. So price manipulation, that's a big deal in it. The regulatory bodies that you mentioned, that's a big deal in it as far as the price. I find it interesting because we've had these conversations before, and that a lot of people still are on the mindset that money, cash dollars, is to come in to drive the market. Well, cash dollars is already coming in shape of infrastructure, right? So we're seeing these custodial accounts being built out. We're seeing new inroads as far as acquiring Bitcoin and altcoins being built out. So we're seeing these things come into place so that the dollars that we're waiting on, in essence, they're en route. But dollar and infrastructure doesn't always equate into increased value. So if you look at this, I know Mark likes to use a real estate analogy. It's kind of like we're building a house right now. You know, we have a wall up here, maybe a door over there, but we're still building. So you can't sell, you can sell anything, but if you were to sell a half-built house, you would have to sell it at a discount because you have to sell it to somebody who was first interested in that property, and secondly, someone who is willing to finish your project. So it's an inconvenience. So for me to come behind you, have to finish what you're doing, go over all your past work and formats and blueprints. So you have to compensate me for my inconvenience fee. So you have to sell that half-built house even at a deeper discount than what it would typically be worth as far as value in materials and land. So that's kind of how I look at it. We see the money coming in, and the value is going to be there once we have a finished and complete product. And that's kind of how I look at it in a very simple layman's terms. So even though I see price slipping and I see price obviously discounting generally really across the board, I'm really excited about the finished product. I mean, Bitcoin and crypto in general really has a long way to go. And then we look at other transactions like over-the-counter transactions. Over-the-counter transactions at an all-time high. So those institutional investors, they don't want to show their hand on these exchanges. They don't want to do that. They don't want to make their plays evident. So, and there's some exceptions where people, put coins on exchanges and dump coins and manipulate price and those type of things. And I think we're going to see that until we have some very firm verbiage of it not happening with some type of strong regulatory process in place. But I don't see that happening right away. I think in threat of having manipulation out of the market is going to drive prices lower even further. So I think that if something was to come out to say manipulation is no longer going to happen because of X, Y, and Z, I think we're going to see a huge influx of manipulation right prior to, or maybe the day of, where people start unloading coins, pushing coins further down in order to accumulate at a lower price point. So that's all just theory. I don't have anything really substantial to base that from, but just looking at market psychology, and how this crypto market is working, I think that's a possibility, and maybe even a low probability. I think that's a possibility that we see that. So in any event, I think this is an accumulation time for people to say, hey, prices are low. The same reason why you love your project when it was $2 more, $100 more, $1,000 more, that project is still viable today. And not in all cases, but in many cases, in some cases. And I think that when we come back up, like I've been saying, we're going to come up a lot cleaner. So looking into the smart projects to get into and involved in is instrumental and paramount. So I agree with you, Asmeret. I agree that the inroads is here, the infrastructure is here, and I think the price is going to follow. But we have to slap a few bad hands, a few bad actors out of the space, and not necessarily bad, just greed. You know, greed and fear is what drives the market. And I think that a second round of accumulation at the bottom is sufficient for those that want to accumulate, as far as institutional wise and institutional investors. And I don't think that we're going to see these low prices again ever again in our lifetime. I think that if you guys aren't getting in now, that's why I tell people just to layer in their buys at lower prices strategically, not just every single little dip, but strategically. Because I think for the common person investing, the retail investor, we're never going to see these prices again. 2019, we'll never see a $5,000 Bitcoin. You can get that out your head. It's never going to happen. So what you're complaining about now, you're going to wish for, wish and pray that you could have it again. Because in 2019, once we take our discount, we'll be talking about a $20,000 Bitcoin, a $25,000 Bitcoin, maybe a $50,000 Bitcoin. You're going to be praying for $5,000-$6,000, and you're not going to get it. I'm on the record to tell you, you're not going to get it. So just keep that in mind, keep in consideration. This market moves fast, and if you're not watching every single day, accumulate where you can intelligently, and I hope to offer some intelligence as far as that perspective is concerned. Mm-hmm. And hold on to your crypto. And I know I'm not a big HODL guy, because I think there's so much idiocracy within that community. It makes me not like the HODL community because a lot of you guys are just idiots. People can HODL back when Bitcoin was 20,000, saying it was going at 60,000. So I think 95% of the community is like really stupid. But for the 5% that I'm speaking to, hopefully that you are a little more intelligent, know that everything that goes up must come down. Everything that goes down doesn't necessarily have to go back up. But in Bitcoin, there's a high probability that it will. And I believe that it will. I'm banking on Bitcoin and Ethereum. I like OMG a lot too. I'm banking on Bitcoin and Ethereum. Whatever I trade, I accumulate for Bitcoin and Ethereum. I think Ethereum is going to be $5,000, $10,000 really easy. Really easy. I think Ethereum is going to do really, really well within the next 2 to 5 years. So I'm really accumulating for Bitcoin and Ethereum. That's my point, me personally. And I like other projects Asmeret recommends, but usually whenever I capture gains within those projects, I liquidate them and put them back in Bitcoin and or Ethereum. So I'm a Ethereum bull. I like OMG. I like some other little projects, and I'm a Bitcoin bull as well. I know a lot of people aren't, but I'm a Bitcoin bull. So yeah, let's see what the audience is saying. Hold on.
Let's see these charts. We want to see these charts.
What's up? The crypto space we're taken over by credit investors. These coins before. Guys, the crypto space has always been taken over by accredited investors. I know we like to say that 2017 was the retail boom, but I don't think there's anything in the world as a retail boom. I think that if we think of anything as a retail boom, that's exactly what accredited investors wanted us to think, or institutional investors want us to think. I feel like they're always in control. I feel like they're always driving price, always. So that's just my perspective. Hold on, let me see. I'm getting all these questions. Hold on 1 second, Asmeret.
Sure.
Let me get some likes for Asmeret too. Some likes, some hearts, some shares. What's up? D, what's up? Blue, Blue, what's up? Hey, she's smart. She's smart. Blue said you're a smart woman, Crypto Azzy.
Oh, thank you.
And what's up? Let's see. I'm breaking the car, I don't know. Hey, the World Cup. Oh man, we are. Go. Let's see. Interesting. Japanese mob. Does that mean the government will be returned to taxes? I doubt the government's going to return much of anything, Shelby. All right, all right. Post your questions, guys. I got some questions. I'll get inside here. I'll answer some questions. But otherwise, give us some love out here. So you said they want to see some charts.
Yeah, who's ready? Who's ready for some chart? Who's ready for aching risen to break it down?
Don't make things uncomfortable and awkward, please. Make things really uncomfortable and awkward. Let's see. Courtney, what's up? All right, so let me pull up some charts and take a look at it for you guys. Hold on one second. And guys, I'm gonna go live tonight. And honestly, I'm really just about done trading crypto. I used to well, I'm a trader for accumulation, but I'm not gonna trade it for fiat profits because the market's a little choppy and I trade on Bitfinex. And Bitfinex has a lot of price manipulation. So I'm about to start trading my Forex again. So I'm probably gonna work something in. I'm gonna talk to Charles. I'm not gonna talk to Charles. I'm gonna do what I want. So I'm gonna show some crypto trades, like the ones I really like, but I'm gonna start throwing some Forex inside there too. I'm probably gonna trade like pound yen, dollar yen, dollar pound. Probably trade like three, 4, 5 pairs because crypto is a little slow right now. I like to make money and be in a little bit more action. So I'm about to get back in this Forex. But before I used to make a killing on crypto. So right now it's not showing me love the way I'm used to. Let's see. Who in here trades? Any traders in here? Oh, Asmeret, somebody's inboxing me for you. Asmeret. I'm gonna say absolutely. Hold on. Crypto love in the house. I like that. Hold on. Let me close some of this stuff out, man. I should have closed it out already.
Charts.
Oh man, how was everybody else's Father's Day? What's up, family? Tell me how y'all had Father. I haven't finished my baby pip to do yet. Nick, you still on baby pips? Hey, baby pips ain't too bad. I got nothing against baby pips.
Catching up on these comments now.
What y'all got? Who else is here trading? Who else is here trading, investing? Charts.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, Joe? No need for charts. My son is hilarious. Changing the mood to friendly crypto countries instead of allowing government control what coins they can list. Man, I want to do ICO myself, to be honest. I'm from Grenada. I'm a Grenadian boy. Let's make that clear. A lot of people are not sure, but I rep straight the West Indies, Grenada. So if I ever did something, it's definitely going to be out my home country. Who's here from the West Indies? Grenada, Trinidad, Tobago. Where y'all at? Where's my family? Any family in here? Anybody? How much for the show? Great place to start and for the site. Oh, of course, Nick. Anytime. All right. I'm about to pull this up. I'm about to pull this up. Who wants to see a chart? Oh man. So I'm gonna look at Bitcoin for you guys because Bitcoin obviously is the chart bearer. Lou, you from Jamaica? What's up, man? You know about some bust up shot. You know about that. You know about some salt fish. You know about that roti tank. You know all about that. Hmm? Y'all know what bust up shot is? Then you know we can't get along. I just need a woman to make me some bust up, some roti, some sorrel, some chicken curry, oxtails. You can't talk that language. You can't rock with the king. Gotta have it. Shots, 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 shots. Let me just minimize this. I'm almost done here, guys.
Deshaun Lockhart says, I heard of Grenada, Mississippi, lol.
Hey, if y'all haven't been to Grenada, it's really not that expensive of a flight. It's really close to Miami. Well, everything is close to Miami, but probably the most beautiful place on earth. You know, so my family reunion is going to be there next year, and I'll be going this year in August. So as much Grenada as I can get, trust me, I'm taking. It's like not only is it home, it's just my favorite place to be. All right. Asmeret, I'm about to share my screen. Is that cool?
Yep, go ahead.
Hold on, let me make sure I turned off these alerts. All right. Okie dokie. What's up, guys? All right, so I'm gonna show y'all this real quick. So here we are on Bitcoin. It's the 4-hour chart. I'm gonna give y'all the large picture. It's the daily chart. So on the daily chart, I want to show y'all this. We broke down from here, and we spoke on this already, this major zone, right? We broke down from there. So this was critical support at this level. You know, we had that bounce here. We had this bounce here. We had this bounce here. And over here, you can see it again where this was a major level where we retested. We needed to collect some more energy and interest before we broke back up. So we touched to 5,400, and we broke back up all the way to all-time highs. So this $6,000 range, $6,600 range, that was a big area for Bitcoin. So we broke this area. We broke down from here. We broke down, we went back up, retested, broke down, and now we're in the sideways range. So I think we're going to see another move. This is the move that I think is happening, the formation that we're in. I'm going to show you guys some other things. I'm going to try to keep it super, super simple, right? Like super, super, super simple. Let's take a look at fibs. The fibs, we go from high to lows, right? So we go from this low to this high. As you can see, we bounced off that 786, retested that 618, we broke down, and now we're sitting right at this zero. You know, right where the bottom of this wick is. So I think we're going to see a lower price, a lower move, and here's why. Let's go to the 4-hour chart, make it a little bit cleaner. So what we're doing is, let me just erase all of this. Put this black line back. So that black line was right here, I believe. I think that's where it was. So what we're doing is we're forming this pattern. It's like this, where we're getting lower highs and higher lows. Now, we came from a bearish trend. So what that means is that we could very well see a move to the equal degree, like we're getting close to this apex, high, low, high, low, high, low. Now we're right here in the middle. So I had a few shorts positions open. I closed some of my shorts because I don't want to be in an over leveraged situation. But two things can happen. We could break up over here and go back up towards 7,600, which I really don't think that's going to happen. Or we could break down from here and we could go this way. So if and when we break out, there's a measured move associated with every breakout. That measured move is going to be from the top of this to the bottom of this. That's where it is. That's going to be like 11%. So if we break out to the upside, I'm looking at 11%, which will bring us right around here, which is the bottom of this, like $7,000, which is less probable, not impossible, but it's probable. Or we could see a breakout 11% down here, to bring us to $5,600, which I think is more probable. So these little bearish pennants, that's what it's called, a bearish pennant. They're not a high probability structure. So that's why I reduced some of my leverage, because they're not very high probability. I think it's like a little bit over 50% of the time they break out the way that it's supposed to. So there's other structures that I trade on that carry higher probability. So when I see them in the market, I leverage a little bit more. But for this right here, I'm very small in the market, as to which I'm going to start looking for some Forex pairs. I actually have some Forex pairs I'm going to trade. Pound yen, I'm gonna get into. Pound U, I'm gonna get into. So I'm gonna look at some Forex stuff for trading purposes. But I still think we're in an overall bearish trend, even if we did pump back up, which I don't think that's going to happen, but it's possible. So I have to prepare for that. We have a lot of resistance up here, and this is still a higher probability than not bearish pattern. So I think 5,600, 56 to 5,800. I think that's a reasonable target for Bitcoin moving forward. I'm not going to be buying Bitcoin. I'm going to be buying Ethereum after this dip. I think Ethereum and OMG has some real bullish potential. So I'm going to take them up on that, and I'm going to buy some of that for my returns. I think Bitcoin is going to drop another maybe 10, 11%. I think Ethereum is going to drop another 15+%. So that's where I'm at. That's what I'm looking at. So we saw so let's see how this lines up with like Fibonacci's, right? We're at 5,600, something like that. So let's just take this high, this low to this high. Let's see if we have some confluence there. And right at 5,900, we have a fib level, and we have another fib level at 5,200. So we don't have that much confluence there on the fibs as far as the standard fib levels on this high and this low. Let me see if we do it like this instead. We took from here to here. Let's see if we have some confluence there. No, not that much. That's giving me a much broader picture. So, but I think that's where we're going to go as far as a measured move. Again, I look for different reasons to get into the market. I look for certain confluences, certain price patterns, price action. When I see something I really like, then I'm able to move a little bit more serious about it. Where this market's a little oversold. It's not. It could drop a little bit further, but it's a little bit oversold. And we could take a look at something like RSI, for instance. And I like stochastic RSI too. So with RSI, you can see we're making our way above 30, but it's still, on the downside. We could dip back down. My computer's about to die. We could dip back down, form a little divergence, and work our way back up. And that's what I think we're doing. But we're at the bottom of this. Same thing with the stochastic. So I think we're going to drop a little bit further and then bounce back up. So the way I plan on playing it, because the market is getting oversold, I plan on accumulating on that last dip, wherever it drops to, 5,500, 5,000, wherever it drops to. I'm going to accumulate. I'm going to buy back up because I think we will see a good, healthy buy. And then at the top of that buy, if I see opportunities where we could break out into a bullish trend, I'm going to hold it. If we don't break out into a bullish trend, then obviously I'm going to let go of it, and then I'm going to accumulate more. So my focus right now is to accumulate. How much crypto can I buy in as little time as possible? So that's my focus. That's my direction right now. Let me see where people are in these comments. Hold on one second. And a matter of fact, anybody asking anything crypto ads so I don't have to log out? Asmeret.
Yeah, I'm just refreshing. Give me a moment.
There's nothing but charts in the back of my screen. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, some comments about Aido Wu, straight up foodie all day. Real talk, African and West Indian men, though, down in the kitchen. Hey, listen, and she's saying my dad cooks.
No,
better than my mom.
I take cooking seriously. Seriously. Seriously.
And Nick Ross, yes, he asked Asmeret, what are your thoughts on Icon? So, Nick, as you may have heard, Icon is one of it's actually number 23, last time I checked. So it's one of those companies that is touted as being an Ethereum killer. And its ecosystem allows other blockchains to come through and work together, speak to each other through something called interoperability. So, in fact, Icon, OneChain, and Aeon came together to create something called the Blockchain Interoperability Alliance. So, that's one of the keys, that indicators that we're looking for in terms of a coin doing well in the future. That's like the third evolution of this space. So, Icon has got Binance support. In terms of the upcoming mainnet and the token migration process. And this is something where it'll allow different projects and developments to come on its blockchain and develop dApps. And it's how I see it, it's everything that Ethereum currently does, Icon is being built as something that will do better. So each aspects of Ethereum that you look at, and one of the problems of scaling issues, for example, that's something that they're going to tackle as well. And it doesn't look to compete with other digital coin platforms. Instead, it supports them. So the price of Icon, if you've taken like during the bear market, it has been holding steady. So that's something that is an indication of its strength, not just now, but in the long term. And also it has certain things as well, like it's considered like a one-stop shop as well. So it has like a peer-to-peer outfit that deploys smart contracts, and it uses several combinations to create the best outcome. So in my opinion, I believe Icon will be ones to watch in the future. It will do well alongside other projects with interoperability features. So again, not investment advice, but is something which I would put in my list of coins to watch out for.
What else we got? Any other questions?
Let me see. I'm gonna refresh. Deshaun Lockhart asks, what's up with 0x? So I mentioned 0x about 2 weeks ago. So it's a decentralized coin. It's a protocol. That's one of the things that we look for. So it's looking to be, you know how with internet, it has the TCP IP protocol. So it's a system of rules that allow it to communicate. That's something that 0x will do for decentralized exchanges. So currently we have centralized exchanges like Binance and Coinbase, where you have control and custody within the company, within the exchanges. But with 0x, it's looking to decentralize that. And that is something that will continue to develop and be able to support all of these other coins that are going to be working alongside that. So, and I remember mentioning a couple of weeks ago as well, one of the advantages of this is the fact that the transaction fees will be reduced. And also the storage of these, the custody of these coins, it will be offline. So it's not, they'll only come online when they're ready to transact, and there's no middleman. They don't have to use, for example, Coinbase. You can, if you wanted to buy one of the cryptos, you'd have to go through Coinbase. It would hold on to your private keys. But with 0x, it will allow you to find another buyer or seller, and they'll be able, it's literally direct contact peer-to-peer. So this will be a coin that will develop over time and help many other exchanges to grow in that space. So again, not investment advice, but that's something which you should consider as one to look out for, especially in the trend of decentralized exchanges. And let me see if there's any other questions.
Hold on, somebody asked if you were going to buy one Bitcoin, is now a good time or wait a little bit longer? I tell people all the time there's never really a bad time to buy Bitcoin. But for me, I'm going to be honest with you guys, I'm not buying Bitcoin right now. I'm going to wait till it drops a little bit lower because I think it is going to drop. But also, guys, keep in mind, like, when I'm wrong, sometimes I miss opportunities. Like, there's this lady, she bought Bitcoin, I think, on that last dip. I think she got in, like, right at 6,200 or 6,400, something like that. I forgot. And I got in, like, around 6,600, 6,700. So sometimes, I get in a little bit late because I want to see what the market does. Where on the other hand, she was just buying, just buying, and it worked out for her. So sometimes being strategic has its advantages and also has its disadvantages. But I'm okay with that. I'm okay with missing on a little bit of action if I know what I'm doing versus just buying. So, you have to go what works for you. What works for me is, even if a lot of times I'm not late to the party, but if I am a little bit late to the party, but I have confidence that my money's going to be increasing in value, then I'm okay with that. So it all depends on you. But me personally, Kenya, I will wait. What I'm doing is that I'm waiting for a lower price. I think 5K, 3K, 1K. 1K being the bearish possibility. 3K being a little bit of a long shot. 5K being pretty probable for me. I think we see 5K. I think that's a real possibility.
Marianne Fraser asking, let's see chart on Ethereum and OMG. I'll miss a go.
All right, let me plug up my laptop. If I lose you guys, then it was real. Because we're at an hour anyway. Hopefully, I don't lose you guys. I'll take a look at OMG and ETH. What else you guys want?
Did you see Shelby Smith's question? How long does price have to consolidate before we can estimate a breakout of BTC? Are we looking for multiple days, weeks, or months for a true channel to base a breakout?
Well, it just depends. I mean, I think we could be in a bear market for the next couple of months, and I think we could see an accumulation market afterwards. That might take a month or two. So it just really depends how the market develops, But all of that could change so drastically with crypto. Like, I'm short on the market right now, but all of that could turn around tomorrow. So this market moves crazy, it moves really fast, but I think a good buy point's in the 5K range. July, that's hopeful. I think we could finish this year bearish, to be honest. I'm just being honest with you guys. I think we could finish this year bearish, but I think we could, I think the probabilities is we're more likely to finish this year bearish, but anything's possible. That's why it's best to accumulate, put cash to the side. Money was going to spend on some stupid shoes or dinner and get yourself some crypto. Because at the end of the day, we're talking about months, a few months, where in the next few years, we're going to be stupid paid.
Ethereum and Omisigo chart.
Hold on one second. I mean, Ethereum and OMG, they're actually pretty bullish for the most part. When I say bullish, meaning they're in a downtrend like everyone else, but the way they're responding in this downtrend is a little bit more stronger. Like Litecoin, Ripple, they have Neo, Monero. Some of those coins, they're just dropping and they don't care what anybody has to say. But like Ethereum, OMG, those coins are holding up a little bit better. than a lot of these other coins. Let me see, where's Neo at right now anyway? Yeah. So, but they're going to succumb to the trend like everyone else. So yeah, they're holding up a little bit better, but they're going to succumb. I'm gonna buy Ethereum like around $400. I'm gonna buy it again. So, and I'm gonna talk about that in the meeting we have as well, as far as what levels I'm buying, accumulating. I'm trading for Mark. I'm trading for Boyce. I'm trading for Charles. So this is gonna be fun. You know, if I'm wrong, then I get to lose all their money, and that's gonna definitely stain our relationship. So I don't want to lose their money. I don't want to lose any money. But what I can do is try to look at the market and make the wisest investment decisions possible. I'm about to get them in some Forex trades. I'm not going to tell them about it. I'm going to put them in some Forex trades, and they're just going to have to find out once they check their account. This crypto market isn't moving. Like the way it's been moving, like it just moves like so sideways, and breaks down and breaks up. So it definitely requires a little bit of patience. But I'm gonna get some Forex trades in because we got to make some money. We got to pay these bills. What else we got?
And OMG.
OMG, the same thing. Same thing. I'm gonna buy ETH and OMG real heavy once this thing bottoms out. And guys, just to give you some perspective, Neo is $37.54. Neo's all-time high is $204. Let me give you guys some perspective. You know, OMG is $9. OMG's all-time high was $29. Let me give you guys some perspective here. Litecoin. I mean, these are you guys' favorite projects, right? I mean, y'all love these projects at all-time highs. Y'all were the same people like, oh, we're gonna buy some more. At all-time highs, you guys love these projects. Litecoin, all-time high. 370, what's that? 871, let's say 370. $370. Litecoin, $94. What are we talking about? Like, these are amazing discounts, huge discounts. So this market, I mean, Ethereum. Let's look at Ethereum. I know I should know Ethereum, but I forgot the all-time high. All-time high, $1,415 or $1,440, somewhere around there. Let's say $1,400. Ethereum, $497. I mean, let's say $1,500 and $500. Let's just say that. A third of what it was when y'all was loving it to death. When y'all couldn't get enough of Ethereum at $1,400. It's a third of what it was. Come on, man. What are we talking about? So even if you don't listen to me, if you don't watch Asmeret, you just unplug yourself. Even at these prices, we're still talking about a huge discount, a huge bargain. And these coins will surpass their previous all-time highs. You can put me on record for saying that, for sure. Let me see. Stellar. Let me take a look at Stellar. What's the XLM?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't know Stellar was on Bitfinex. Wow. Stellar's holding up not too bad, to be honest. All-time high, $1. Now it's 22 cents. Are we serious? Oh yeah, these are deals. Deals everywhere. But honestly, I think Stellar has a long way to drop. I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah, I think Stellar has a nice way to drop. I'm not buying Stellar. I'll tell you that for sure. I wouldn't buy Stellar. Like, let me tell you how I feel about Stellar. I'm looking somewhere around 4 cents to buy Stellar. That's what I think. I think it has a huge discount. I'm looking to buy it like around 6 cents and 4 cents. That's where I'm looking to buy Stellar. I'm not getting Stellar. I don't even understand that project. But if I was to buy it, that's where I'm at. Did you buy it? Let's see. Hey, y'all give me these requests. The least y'all can do is give me some likes and give me some shares. If you're out here requesting, I have no problem in looking at these coins and showing you guys some love. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it's raining heavy where I'm at. But yeah, give me some likes, give me some shares so other people can at least get this information. That's all that I ask. You know, that's all that I ask. So give me some likes, give me some shares. Please. Who else said Digibyte? Let me see if I have Digibyte on here. Oh, I do have it. Yuck. Yeah, Digibyte's about to get slapped. Yeah, I'm not buying Digibyte till it's about 280 Satoshis. And then after that, I'm going to buy it at 143 Satoshis. Y'all know who's about to get really, you know who's really about to get slapped? Y'all EOS fanboys. I cannot wait. I can't wait for EOS fanboys to get slapped. But I'm looking at EOS fanboys to come back down to $7. And then after that, if we break that $7, they were coming back to $1 and change. Which I'm not sure if the EOS fanboys will let that happen because y'all love some EOS. But $7 for sure, I have us coming back down. I'm gonna buy some EOS too, just because y'all love it so much. What else we got?
Oh, we're about 15 minutes over, just to let you know.
That's cool. Give me some likes, give me some shares. Y'all shouldn't be depressed about this at all. Like, this is the best thing ever. This is time to buy more. Hold what you got and let's buy more. We're gonna be dumb paid in the next year. Like, what y'all worried about? Give me one more coin. What else we got? Anybody else? Anybody else? Ethos? I don't know if I have Ethos. Let me check. Anybody else? Oh. I might not have Ethos on my chart, but let me check. No, I don't have it on my chart. So I'm using trading views. I don't have all the coins. Elastos? I don't know if I have that either. Let me check. Nope. Give me one more. One more. Is Maker a coin? Yeah, I don't have it either. That is a coin. Elatos? Yeah, you guys are in some coins. I don't have that. Golem? Hey, no problem, Michael. I think I have Golem. Ooh, got Golem. Yeah, Golem's about to sell hard. Yeah, I'm buying Golem at I will buy it at 43 Satoshis. Do we have Golem on the USD market? Oh, we do. And it's on Bitfinex. Oh man, Golem's having a bad day. Yeah, I'm looking somewhere around 22 cents for Golem. That's where I'm at. Antoine. And it's not that I don't like Stellar, I just don't understand it. I don't understand the project. So maybe that's something Asmeret can educate all of us on next time. And I don't understand a lot of these projects, so that doesn't say too much. You know, I have a few projects that I'm aware of, I'm comfortable with, that I believe in. Other projects, I kind of listen to Asmeret, listen to Mark, just to like capture gains. But I only have maybe 5 to 10 projects that I really believe in. I think that's kind of, I don't know, but me personally, I think that's kind of like how it should be. Like you shouldn't just be in everything for every reason. So I don't know, to each their own. I'm done, Asmeret. Anything else you want to add to this?
Um, I'm good as well. We're over time, but certainly next time we need at least 100 viewers. 100 viewers to be on, so we can do something special for you guys.
Cool. We'll be in Crosstown. What's up? Poet? Let me take a look at this last thing. Let me see if I have Poet and Barry on there. Nope, don't have that. Don't have that either. Oh, I do have it. Veritasium, is that how you say it?
Veritasium. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's bleeding out. It's no diving. I'll probably catch it around $9. No. I'll probably catch it around $32. If it breaks there, I'll catch it around $9. Get a bounce around 32. Pull up, catch it around 9. That'd be cool. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Super happy, super humble just to, share some information with you guys. I'm going to go live tomorrow night between 6 and 7. It's going to be late for Crypto Azzy. Are you going to join me, Crypto Azzy? What you want to do? I'm going to talk charts. I know it's going to be like midnight your time, but you want to come on or what?
I'm down.
All right, cool. Well, Crypto Azzy's down, so we'll go live. We'll get more in detail with these charts. Give you guys a little more clearer perspective. I'm trading Charles, Mark, and Boyce Watkins' account. So it's going to be fun. Y'all get to see if I make some money, if I lose some money. It's going to be fun. So I know Charles is really excited about it. So we'll see how that works out, and let's have a good time. So to the next time, family, peace, love. It's been real. Check me out tomorrow. I might make a calendar event. Check me out tomorrow at between 6 to 7 Central Time. 6 to 7 Central Time. Let's make some money. Peace, guys. I'm out.
See ya.